Fuck! We are air, 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 we are air. Now you already know the fuck going on. It's your boy Maccduhvee in the fucking building. And since we don't got nothing to react to, we going to react to Trap Lord Ross. Stab City. Now you got me if you thought I was gonna react to the whole thing. Now you know I'm gonna skim through this shit. We're gonna react to this shit, and you can watch it by yourself. You feel me? Now, disclaimer: this is not my video. I am reacting, obviously, dummy. So stop reporting my page. You're not the bull.
This video contains themes of violence, death, and gang activity. This video is an educational documentary. It does not intend to glorify, incite, or encourage illegal behavior. All of the information is taken from
11 seconds in, I already got a problem with this. You talking about something that's not here to glorify, bro. Then why do you subject yourself to these videos only? You get what I'm trying to say, blood? Come on, man.
And is shown on the basis
Come on, Crip Blood.
I've made every effort to ensure accuracy of the sources, but I am not responsible for any content. I told you I could have focused.
Every
effort has been made.
He remind me of a teacher, but I can't really focus when I
YouTube's
watch
community guidelines. But if you want to see an uncut 4.5-hour version of this video, you can do so on Patreon.com.
I don't find myself ever doing that.
But if
yo, somebody break it up into highlights.
Button and prepare to hear one of the craziest stories ever told. Today, I'm here in Agar Grove, birthplace of one of London's
fuck is a
most
Stab
notorious
City, bro?
and dangerous
This is
street
what we
gangs.
asking. Where is this?
And you might recognize the building behind me from the cover art of the album Suspicious Activity by active gang member Suspect, recorded whilst he was on the run from 2 murder charges.
Stop
He was
calling
eventually
niggas
caught
gang
in
members,
Kenya
gang.
and extradited back to the UK to face justice. But today, I'll be telling you the full story of Suspect.
Oh, so he fled and went to Kenya. That's crazy.
Gang wars ever to touch the
That's
streets
what
of London.
extradited mean, right? Am I bugging? When you thought you could not be found and they bring you back to where you was. Oh, here, this is where you did the crime. So now you're gonna get the time. That's mad mookish of you, bro. If I didn't do nothing in the other country, leave me alone.
I've been covering the most famous and dangerous stories.
Look at all these views that this nigga got off of these
blocks
niggas.
Of Chicago's South Side to the bullet-riddled palm trees of Jacksonville in northern Florida. And it seems that no matter the city, if you look hard enough,
I think he got to be the one to do
crew
Cali, so I can
of hardened
understand Cali. I
gangsters
don't
that
understand
control
Cali.
the streets and are willing to kill
All I know is
to protect
Blueface.
what's theirs. But ever since the 2010s, when Chicago drill emerged, it seems that behind every gang, there soon emerges
Hurry up, because you
a
only got
gangster
10 minutes,
rapper.
gang.
One of those people who had lived the dangerous gang lifestyle and eventually found a way of telling their story through
Look at his
music.
glasses. I feel
Since
like
the
slapping
emergence of a teenage gang member named Chief Keef from Chicago's O Block, gangster rappers have emerged from all around the world.
How
turning
can
their
we
pain
touch
into
you
art
is what I'm
and forging
saying.
a path out of the dangerous lifestyle that so often ends in tragedy.
How can
Since
we
Chief
how
Keef,
can we reach
countless
you? How
names
can we
have
touch
emerged.
you?
Lil Durk, Young Thug, Pop Smoke, just to name a few, artists who made their mark on the music world with their stories of gang life coming out of their respective cities. Each of them has a different sound,
He
style,
wildin'.
and cadence, but underneath
He
is the
wildin'.
same formula. The DNA of drill music has spread around the world and mutated with
Boom,
each
boom,
city
boom,
establishing
boom,
its
boom.
own
That's a fact.
unique style. I
Foul.
love drill music, from
sorry.
Chirac to Sydney. But there's one question
Where the fuck
I
is
constantly
Sydney?
get asked. Is there anywhere in the UK that gets as active as Chicago? You don't know the half of it. Because when it comes to gangster rappers in UK drill, or the UK's capital city, London specifically, there's a whole bunch of hoods and a whole bunch of demons raising hell.
That's where I would
waging
raise my
war
kid,
on their
London.
respective ops.
London don't
But when it
get
comes to
down.
the most
You
dangerous
heard?
and demonic rappers in London, one name stands above them all.
Drop the sus doc. Drop sus wanker. Your last name is Wanker
Hailing
is
from the
crazy
infamous
to me.
London borough of Camden, Suspect and his affiliates in the legendary street crew turned rap collective Active Gang have brought
Let me hear a
years
song,
of
let me hear a
carnage
song.
to the streets of North London, with deadly knife battles taking
North
place
London.
just minutes away from some of London's busiest.
Anywhere
tourist
north,
hotspots.
I'm not scared
Active
of, you
Gang and
heard?
their enemies turned up the violence to 11. And
I
quite
go up there,
literally
I turn shit
single-handedly
up.
raised the crime rate in their community, with multiple murders taking place on both sides of the war and innocent
Why
victims,
put this on the
women,
screen if
and
you was gonna block
children frequently being caught in the crossfire.
Look
Often
at they
with the people
cops,
doing
look.
Innocent victims, women, and children frequently be
Where in my mind is this outfit intimidating? I would disrespect you all the time. You look like a safety police. Matter of fact, you hear safety police? Safety, bro. I never see their hammers, nothing. Look, I see checkerboard. Matter of fact, I think you a taxi cab driver with this shit on. I swear to God, they don't
Being caught in the
intimidate me at
crossfire,
all.
often with the people doing the shooting or
And
stabbing,
that's why I think
doing
I
it
would
without
die.
leaving a trace, leaving local police and politicians completely incapable of stopping them. But when suspect and his affiliates seemingly murdered 2 rivals in the space of only a few months, with the police hot on their trail, members of Active Gang would have to flee the city of London and hide out as long as they could, sparking an international game of cat and
There ain't
mouse.
no gangs in
British
London.
governments desperately trying to use social media to
BBC
track
London.
down Camden's.
How am I supposed to take London serious with a name BBC London? Come on now.
Most notorious killers. All the while, suspect
Hurry
himself
up, nigga.
was recording and releasing some
How
of
much
the
time
most
we
shocking
on?
and violent
5
drill
minutes.
songs
You got 5
the
more
UK rap
minutes.
game had ever seen, bragging about the murders that he committed openly.
Boom,
Music,
boom,
even
boom.
referring to himself with the menacing title,
I'm the Grim Reaper
of Agar Grove, and all while using body doubles and diversion tactics to trick the authorities and rap fans into believing that he was still active and lurking.
Who is this nigga? You been talking about him 5 minutes straight, nigga.
Their rivals and their victims is one of the most wild and tragic stories ever to have been told on the streets of London. But that story has never truly been told in detail from start to finish until now. So prepare yourself to learn once and for all the whole shocking and true story behind London's most gruesome
let's get to it.
Agar Grove, if it ain't the A, then you're
Where's the
getting
foul
fucked,
foul
bro.
fouls?
BBC News,
Hold
just some
on,
breaking
gangs
news.
in Camden. What the
Breaking
fuck?
news.
Camden,
Two
New
men
Jersey?
have been-
Getting an LLC for your business doesn't have to look like this. Just Google LLC Taylor Brands. It's totally easy. You pick a state.
Miss, you think I give a fuck about what you
pick your
talking about?
business and name.
Welcome to Camden. Gangs in Camden.
like
Oh,
other
they going
boroughs of
crazy.
London that have
Suspects
significant
early
population
life.
struggling with poverty
What?
has for a long time been affected by gangs.
Active
For example,
gangs.
notorious former gangster Marvin Herbert grew up in Camden. He was suspected of up to 24 murders with his Yardie
3
Hit
murders
Squad
in
gang,
3
one of many
days?
Jamaican Caribbean gangs that operated in London during that period.
A Yardie.
Herbert, who is
We
now
know
in
what a
his
Yardie
50s
is.
and a reformed public speaker, youth worker, and YouTuber, has discussed in numerous interviews and videos his upbringing in the rough working class estates in Camden,
Yo,
where
what
his
the
family
fuck?
moved to from Liverpool when he was young. Raised by a drug dealer father who commonly beat up both him and his mother, Herbert fell
Beat
into
up
the life
him
of
and his
crime
mother.
gangs since a very young age.
Oh, he
until
been
was
getting
apparently
beat up.
shot numerous times in 2008, causing him to lose one of his eyes and eventually making him leave the life of gangs and crime behind.
What?
In the
You got
90s,
shot
the
5
Camden
times?
neighborhood of Somerstown
Not
saw
once.
many Caucasian families moving out,
You
with many
ain't died.
migrant families, particularly Asian backgrounds, migrating to the area.
You know what that's telling me too? In London as well, the bullets are not something that you should be intimidated by either, bro. If you could take your time out your day, I'm telling you right now, move away from the States and go to London, bro. If you get shot 5 times and you ain't died, bro, they wasn't trying to kill you. They was playing with you, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
and calling it home. Unfortunately, due to racial tensions in the area, this would eventually lead to a race war between the poorest white youths still living there and the Asian youths who had moved in recently. The animosity in
A
the area
race
between
war?
these two groups exploded after a 15-year-old white boy, Richard Everett, was stabbed to death by a gang of British Bangladeshi youths who were
The white
apparently
people
seeking
born
revenge
too?
against another white youth in the area. After this, white youth gangs began patrolling the streets of Somerstown, attacking anyone of Asian background that they came across, even firebombing a halal butcher shop. This was an incredibly violent and volatile time in Camden, and ironically, despite
I'll
the
be
media
damned
attention
if I'm making
surrounding the
chicken
current
wings and
UK
somebody
drill
boo me
scene
for
and the
being-
violence
making
it's
chicken
allegedly responsible for, the homicide
Who we
rate in
booming
the
them
UK
niggas?
actually peaked in the early 2000s. This was reflected in Camden, which was perceived to be
What are we beefing with niggas that supply us chicken wings, bro? The chicken wings that they supply the States, bro, it will never be touched, bro. Classic. Chinese food. Now y'all coming straight for the Asians, bro. See, this is what I'm trying to say about the niggas of the Caucasus. Y'all be bugging the fuck out.
particularly out of control at the time, with violent crime and gang clashes leading papers to argue that Camden Town was up there with some of the world's worst murder capitals. Gangs in London around this time were also generally much larger than they are now, with as many as 100 members in each gang. As one former gang member, Omar Sharif, explained in an insider interview, the gangs back then were often unified under large postcode
There he go on-
districts
on
and not
camera
single
riding.
states or blocks.
Gang wars can start over the smallest things or the biggest things. Smallest things could be they were at a club or a rave, and from there someone gets stabbed,
That's a
and
fact.
then it's a whole, we need to retaliate, we need to send a message, we need to show them who we are. So they round up everyone, and then it's now not just one person versus one person, it's actually a gang versus gang, postcode versus postcode, and now we're talking 50 to 100 people plus. It got to a point where we were having postcode wars, meaning it was my block NW1 versus NW5. Postcode wars are also named interstate wars. This is something that started even in the 60s, 70s, which areas became smaller or bigger, and it's a way of protecting territory. Now there are things called block wars, estate wars, which are even within the same postcode. There is such rivalry, there is such demand for who is more important, so it goes from area, postcode, now to blocks.
That sound like down here.
Creates further division.
Meaning that his gang, which rep the postcode district NW1, that covers a large
That's the
section
whole
of South
area right there,
Camden,
my
will weaken
bucket.
with the entire area of the postcode district NW5, which covers much of North Camden. In 2007, a document by Scotland Yard's Special Crime Directorate that was seemingly linked to news outlets and online listed a whopping 257 gangs allegedly operating in Greater London boroughs. In Camden, the document, which was at the time
I didn't know there
arguably
was
a little
gangs
bit
in London.
outdated, listed a total of 8 gangs active in the area. This included the Born Sick Crew, Centric Gang, the Cromer Street Massive, the Denton Boys, the Drummond Street Posse, the NW1 Boys.
If you see a
aka
gang up,
Combo
bro,
Gang, the Peck
throw
Water
your
Gang,
setup, bro,
WC1.
one
The
time.
Drummond
You already
Street
know the
Posse
fuck
hailed
going
from around
on.
the busy Euston train station and were thought to have been involved in that 1994 killing of Richard Everett. The group was also allegedly involved in a violent clash with another gang, the Cromer Street Massive, from around King's Cross Station in 2003. In 2006, the Centric Gang.
Yo, bro, why is all these niggas coming up on my shit, bro? His killers were members of North London Somalis, NLS, based on, yo, bro, why is that niggas coming up on my shit? This is the shit that make me not, I won't be able to sleep at night. Let's fast forward now. Murder of Mitch. What the fuck, bitch? 3 murders in 3 days. Okay, that sounds interesting, brother. What the fuck you saying? How much time we got left? We got 3 minutes left. We got 3 minutes left. This is the
Moving
moment.
into 2018, the Camden streets were hot. Since the murder of Mitch, which followed back-to-back shootings, it's safe to say that the police were unable to get a grip on the violence. And in February, over the course of just a few days, 3 men would lose their lives in a series of loosely connected attacks. On the night between the 17th and the 18th of February 2018, a girl was holding her 16th birthday party at an Airbnb in Kensington, SW5, West London on Earls Court Road.
2018?
The girl apparently wanted to invite around 50 people, including girls she went to school with,
That was about
and
3
boys
years
that she
ago.
knew from social media. Some of these boys were from a Tottenham-based gang turned drill music collective called OFB, or the original Farm Boys, hailing from the broad.
That was 5 years ago.
OFB is famously the rap collective repped by popular drill rappers like Heady One, Abracadabra, and Bando K. Real name Kamani Duggan, who is actually the son of Maccduhvee, whose killing by police in 2011 started major.
Yo, bro,
Name Kamani Duggan, who is actually popular drill rappers like Heady
dark skin and your name is Abracadabra, bro?
One, Abracadabra, and Bando K, real name Kamani Duggan, who is actually the son of Maccduhvee, whose killing by police in 2011 started major riots all over the UK, including Camden, which I mentioned at the start of this story. There were also allegedly boys from a gang called ZT, or Zero Tolerance, which hails from Hackney Fields, Blackstone, and the Moorland estate. You might be familiar with this group due to their inspiration for the Netflix show Top Boy, which takes place in Hackney, and also included a gang by the name of ZT, with the show's
I
writer
still
Roman
ain't take that
Bennett, who
serious.
lives in Hackney, basing some of the characters and events from the show on real-life situations that happened in the area. Later on, the Old Bailey court were told that the girl throwing the
Those are
party
based on
had
real
been
stories?
particularly careful not to invite any boys from Camden, because apparently she was aware of the history between the boys from Hackney and the boys from Camden. But despite
And let
this,
me guess
the
what.
address of the rented flat that was used for the party circulated online, and eventually Lewis Blackman, aka Dots, or Dotty, from the Peckwater estate would receive details of the event, making plans to gate crash the party with a group of around 10 other people from Camden at about 3 a.m. Dotty came to the
Bro,
event.
I hate when niggas think that, oh, when we go to a party, your life is not at risk. Any party I go to, I think my life is at risk. It could be a fucking party in the city, bro. I think that these security guards, they be a little too emotional. They might throw me out there, and I might get tight, and somebody gonna have to lose their life. It may be either me or you. Stop thinking when you go to a party, is this gonna be that? That's not what, bro, come on. Unless you're doing a select few of friends, bro, you putting it online, bro, they got the address, nigga. If you ain't see them RSVP, bro, them niggas still might pull up.
Ben,
I
armed with a
still
large
might pull
Rambo
up,
knife,
put my
and one of his
hands
friends had a
and
BB
feet
gun. Dotty and his
on that
group would
bitch-ass
reportedly
nigga.
arrive to the event and cause havoc, entering the flat brandishing knives and bats, causing damage to the flat, with some partygoers fleeing over a back wall. One defendant, believed to be the rapper Boogie B from OFB, would claim in court that whilst at the party, Dots had grabbed him, snatched his phone and necklace, with the phone apparently being a joint birthday and Christmas present that his mother was still paying for him, and the chain being a crucifix handed to him by his father on the only occasion they had ever met. After robbing him, home, Dottie allegedly pinned Boogie against a wall by the scruff of his neck and slashed him in the arm. Boogie would claim that he...
Don't you think, like, when it comes to physical violence on another man, it's kind of a little gay? When a nigga rob you, they say, run your pockets. They don't say, please, can you go in your pockets for me, sir? They say, run your pockets. Or if you get a nigga mad enough or you did some crazy shit, they tell you to strip right now at gunpoint. Why do you want me to be naked, bro? Why? This shit gay. Now you talking about this nigga talking about he pinned him against the wall. Flag on the plane. Pause that, brother. Please, pause.
He intended to leave the area before hearing Dottie shout, come and get it, and I'll shiv you up, prompting him to turn around.
Come get it,
Boogie
I'll
saying
shove
that
you
at
up.
this point, he lost control.
Shiv you
However,
up at
the
that.
prosecution disputed this story, only accepting that Boogie was stabbed in the arm, but not accepting that he lost control. At this point, Boogie left the flat, and he would claim that he did not discuss the prior events with his friends, and suggesting that he did not ask them to aid him in what he was about to do. But he claims that he heard someone shout, they went that way, and that at this point, 2 other guests who were standing outside the flat had pulled out knives. Boogie grabbed one, telling the court, I knew I was going onto Logan Place and that they had weapons and I had nothing to defend myself with at all, adding, I was angry and I was upset, but it was more about getting my things back, especially my chain. My dad gave it to me after I met him for the first time. A resident in a nearby home had heard that one member of the group shouted, I don't care, let's chase him down. Boogie began to run after Dottie, with 19 others following him. 12 of them were armed with knives, and 1 was armed with a stick. Dottie would quickly fall behind his friends, ducking behind a car and jumping out, facing the group of attackers. This moment would actually be captured by a nearby CCTV camera, showing the frightening moment when Dots realized he was far outnumbered. He would then turn off and begin to run after a very short standoff. But unfortunately, in a moment that was caught by yet another CCTV camera, the group would soon catch up to Dottie, with Boogie B delivering the first blow, swinging his knife in an arching motion right into Dottie's back. After this blow, Boogie would stop running, but his friends would continue to chase Dottie. Dottie managed to make it another 20 or so paces before falling to the ground on his front. Boogie moved in and delivered the final wound to Dottie, claiming this is when he recovered his stolen goods. Dottie would end up dying as a result of the 2 wounds to his chest. Reports claim that a friend of Dottie ran back towards him as he lay dying, and he was seen to point the BB gun at Boogie and the other OFB members. Following the attack, the group apparently were calm and carefree, walking back to the party house after the murder in what was described as a celebratory mood. And apparently, those members were laughing and joking to themselves, with one teen apparently jumping around and waving his feet. The group apparently returned to the party with a triumphant swagger and were visibly excited. Police would discover Dottie at around 3:20 a.m. after they were called to Logan Place over reports of a large number of vehicles in the area. Officers gave first aid to Dottie, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. After the murder, Boogie would turn up to North...
Bro, they gonna gray out the screen. Trap Law Ross needs to be stopped, bro. They gonna gray the screen out. This is somebody's kid here, bro. Look, hear the sound effect.
Officers gave first aid to Dottie, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. After the murder, Boogie would turn up to North Middlesex Hospital to